What is up, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another ESOC TV stream for you today. This is the round of 16 parts of the ESOC 2020 Stay-at-Home tournament, and we're featuring mongo10 versus iamturk. This will be a best of 5. First game will be played on Kamchatka Summer, open civ pick, and we see that iamturk has chosen to play as the French civilization here on Kamchatka. He will be spawning into the southeast of the map in the colour red. His opponent, mongo10, will be spawning to the north of the map in the colour blue, playing as the British civilization. So Brit versus French on this map. We do see iamturk's native explorer move into the middle of the map. Both players try and look for the goats. Looks like iamturk will pick the goats up, but will actually leave one behind for mongo10. Well, nearly actually, but what happened there was a Freitag. Being the strong pet that he is, managed to convert the goats to the British side somehow through the Freitag can talk to the animals as well, but picked up one goat. Native Scout picked up the other goats, and luckily mongo10's gone the other way and couldn't actually find that goat. May steal one now, but it's just gone past. He's chasing it. The hunt is on. He's gonna try and go for it, but no, he's backing off. Conquest start for both players. Looks like French has gone for an early market start here. Hunting Dogs already researched. Let's have a look. When was Hunting Dogs researched? 11:13 for Turk. Mongo though, 1 minute Hunting Dogs research. Mongo has gone for an early market as well as British. So similar strategies. House market for both players. Early Hunting Dogs, and we go from there. Had a quick look at the map before the game started. It looks like iamturk has one extra hunt in this position. However, he is missing his hunt here. So essentially this hunt has spawned in a different location. It may prompt iamturk to push towards the more east side of the map for extra resources. But in the meantime though, he's trying his best with his tiger treasure. He's actually struggling really bad, and he actually might lose a tiger. It's going to be close. Now, does manage to get both of the treasure guidance down with 24 HP remaining. I barely saw that Freitag there was among the caribou helping out. Just extra 18 hand attack per swing on the tigers, just helping iamturk getting that extra wood, but his explorer, low HP now. Similar story for Mongo on the opposite side of the map. Other treasures on his side, small food. Looks like a small coin treasure as well, 30 coin, nothing too big. And the final treasure, 45 coin on the furthest southerly point on the map. Nothing else more game changing. And it looks like both players will be advancing to the next stage. Governor age up for Mongo. iamturk going for the quartermaster. I'm expecting Turk to go and drop a trading post at his home trading post site. He's a little bit weak and exposed if he goes to the middle trading post, so he's just going to play it safe and return home and go for the nearby defensive trading post. Mongo, on the other hand, is playing the British. They're likely to be investing those extra any time spent chopping wood in the transition into manor houses. And the usual standard play versus civs like French would be to drop a military production building as soon as you age up. Could wait for the 700 wood. And given if you scout out that French is not doing anything super aggressive. These two players, pretty decent players. They do play quite often. Some players in this tournament have only come back for the tournament or don't play as often as others. But these two players are fairly in decent shape. Not as much as other probably better players. I'm thinking of players like Neutral Bear, Migo, possibly Soldier, more well practiced in recently. But both these two players are decent. iamturk seed number 5, Mongo seed number 12. Mongo is a level 35 Colonel. iamturk is repping the Brigadier rank and will be favoured in this matchup. These two players' last tournament outings was both in the ESOC Empire Cup 2, iamturk losing to Neutral Bear 2-1, Mongo losing to IndiaBot/Migo 2-1, so losing to some really decent players in good form who went far in that tournament. 2-1 as well, nothing to be ashamed of, getting a game, really nice. Right, Colonial Age, barracks in base built from Mongo straight away, outpost defensive, both players having steel traps, gang saw already researched for Mongo. The French player, iamturk, had 2 CDBs forward, dropping down a barracks mid-map. First card, 4 CDB, so playing the kind of musketeer semi-FF build, going for a single racks and 2 houses, no, just the 1 house, maybe going for some pike play as a result. No, just no, 9 musketeers, but I'm just trying to find where that extra house was, and it's... Oh, it's up here. There's the extra house, so yes, it's the barracks, 2 house play, and train some musketeers. iamturk moving forward with his explorer and musketeers. Quite nice that iamturk has remembered to include his explorer in this little skirmish party. Decent tank, does add an extra bit of damage to it. Certainly not 937 per shot. That's his special sharp shooter attack in the 4th age. It looks like iamturk's explorer is currently in hand combat, so we'll be using this explorer for snaring purposes only, and a bit of a tank moving in front of the musketeer line. You can see how the musketeers move back, and the explorer is tanking the damage. These musketeers are getting out nice and alive after seeing Mongo's local superiority of numbers. I was about to say Mongol, but he's not in the Mongol Civ or Mongol Rider. It's just Mongo. Mongo's build order, 700 wood, 5 villagers, second card, so going for 5 vills instead of 600 wood. It gives Mongo the opportunity here, I think, to go for 700 coin as card number 3 in the 2nd age. iamturk already going to the 3rd age with a 4 CDB 700 coin crate shipment afterwards. No 700 wood just yet. May be looking to send 700 wood now, but considering he's already nearly up to the next age, I'm expecting iamturk to be saving the shipments for 1,000 wood. Or he might already be sending wood at this point. We'll have to find out if a shipment arrives as soon as iamturk pretty much ages up, because otherwise you might as well just wait for the 1,000 wood. We see iamturk into the fortress age now. He did train a 3rd batch of musketeers at the moment, and you can see 15 musketeers for iamturk, 15 musketeers for Mongo. Mongo. Oh my god, this is so annoying. It's like I was getting confused by saying Look Tom or Luke Tom, but it's called Tom, not Luke. Mongo. I might just call him 10. Now 10 has got 15 musketeers. Now that's confusing in its own right. Anyway, Mongo is aging up now, so he's playing the defensive semi-FF at this point. Does have the superior economic recalculated population versus the French civilization, so yeah, as the game goes on, Mongo will have the stronger economy. However, the tempo advantage is with iamturk. 2 falconets, card number 1 for Turk, so this is actually really aggressive for iamturk. No wood shipment at all, and likely to be sending another shipment very soon once that experience bar reaches the max. Pushing in with soon-to-be veteran musketeers and falconets, but that veterancy upgrade has not even started yet, let alone be completed, and it feels like iamturk has just aged up early for these falconets. Okay, now the veterancy comes in. This is now starting to be quite scary for Mongo. Let's see how he defends. Could get decent mass of longbows here and actually snipe the falconets from range. Batch of longbows trained. Longbows will be coming out from the town centre from the shipment. Could use villagers to punch down the falconet. Time it with minutemen. Probably time it with a defensive falconet shipment as well. I think Mongo seeing this, I don't think he's going to be too worried. I'm actually liking this position so far. And Mongo is very happy that he went for 700 coin here instead of 600 wood and continue that H2 boom. Greatcoats has been researched by Mongo's villagers. can be used to tank some fire as well. Villagers actually really good at tanking falconet shots. 100 siege damage, no multipliers versus villagers. A villager can tank an entire double volley from falconets and not go down. How strong is that? You see the longbows trying to move forward to get a bit of chitin action on the musketeers. Also trying to get a good volley on the falconets just to focus these high damage dealing units down. However, it doesn't want to get too close before taking a volley from the falconets. Defensive falconets come out from Mongo, and looks like the Mongo wants to try and take this engagement. Turk really wants to take the engagement because he's somewhat committed to being aggressive. Backing out now. Town centre being dropped away out the map, but the falconet's unpacked. I think a falconet shot came off, but just missed this actual falconet. So really unlucky there for Mongo. Nearly picked up Turk's falconets there for free. Right, falconets unpacking. Looks like iamturk's going to win the falconet war initially. Gets the first volley off. However, now with longbows focusing down the falconet. If he does, it's on low HP. It does. Mongo's falcons unpacking. But in the meantime, longbows were getting some alright volleys on musketeers. Musketeers in close range of longbows certainly picked off multiple units there. So far, Turk losing 10 musketeers, 2 falconets compared to Mongo's 7 longbow, 1 falconet. Been good so far for Mongo, and especially picking up an extra 3 skirmishes there, 2 and nearly 1 going down. There's the third going down for iamturk, as reinforcing batches of falconets, and the fact you've already lost 5 skirmishes and 6 has gone down there, and you haven't actually really achieved anything with those units. This has been looking really solid play from Mongo. May actually want to time and go for another military shipment. I'm expecting 10 longbows coming in from Mongo. His longbow count at the moment is quite small. Oh, iamturk losing long range skirmishes up and close and personal with musketeers. Longbows can stand and fire now. These skirmishes are in range of the longbowmen for quite a while, and that entire 8 skirmisher shipment just got deleted off the map. Turk, though, is going to try and counter push at the base, but here comes that 10 longbow shipment. Minutemen is available for Mongo if he wants to go for it. Town centre fire is being utilised as well. Explorer moving forward, tanking the longbows. Musketeers charging in. The rest of Mongo's army is taking down his barracks, but actually if he turns back onto this army in his own base, he could actually cut this off and clean up. But now that the musketeers are in close range longbows, yeah, those longbows are going down. 3 cuirassiers being trained onto the caribou hunt. Next shipment was 7 skirmishers, so if your 8 skirmisher shipment didn't work, just send 7 and pray that does. Oh, big raid, cuirassiers right side. We did see villagers on the map there. Greatcoat villagers will tank cuirassiers a little bit longer, but counter raid coming in from Mongo, longbows and falconets, but not very great versus French CDBs. Those musketeers are still at base, running away from Mongo's defensive forces of musketeers, but the cuirassiers are still unchallenged and unchecked on that hunt. CDB is getting involved with the fight on Mongo, taking down the falconet, resisting cannon fire, really, no multipliers versus the villagers, and really resisting longbow fire. High HP, great resist as well, but the cuirassiers is still picking up more villagers. Turk has that second town centre as well, so it feels like that Turk is now in the head economically, which you don't often see. And now with those longbows going down to these veteran cuirassiers, it's just such a sweet pickup for Turk, and it feels like Turk has just turned this game on its head in the space of 30 seconds. Now, that town centre on the far west side of the map hasn't really been scouted out by Mongo just yet. 3 cuirassiers being shipped to the town centre, joining the others being trained. Quite a lot of the skirmishes are already being picked up though, but going for a raid topside, forcing the villagers away, going for a counter raid again with those shipped cuirassiers on the left hand side of the map, will just get into Mongo's economy when he was not expecting it. A couple of cavalry though being picked right side from Mongo's 5 Hussar shipment, but these are only Colonial Hussars up against veteran cuirassiers, so much stronger units. A couple of these cavalry units just tanking damage from the musketeers. Skirmishers getting away, utilising their range. But iamturk is just happy to trade now. He has that economic advantage, and quite significantly, cuirassiers chasing those villagers all the way home as well. Looking at units lost, I'm expecting a lot of villagers going down. 24 villagers has already been lost by Mongo, and just imagine how much more that would have been with no greatcoats. And I don't even mean that as a joke in sense. Literally, that could have been 30, because quite a few of those villagers managed to return home into the town centre before being completely cleaned up. So that HP being utilised, but unfortunately, the fact that they were out on the field gathering not near any military was a tough sight to behold. You can tell that iamturk has had a very good age 3. All that experience he's picked up so far from his engagements, his raiding, his training units, he's now one full shipment ahead of the British Civ. Back in age 2, you can see the third shipments were sent at the same time, and the rest of iamturk's shipments were delayed as a result of the age up. But now managing to get one full shipment ahead of Mongo is certainly really strong, really nice. And you know, the British usually have a decent XP curve with all the manor houses they train, but iamturk is just using the experience he picks up for every single musketeer he kills, and just using that to send that next shipment and that next power spike that bit sooner. Hunt on the top side for Mongo has now run out. He has to go into that coin mine. He could go down to the south side and try and go for iamturk's villagers, but Turk has gone through both this hunt and this hunt on the right hand side, so food is getting a little bit scarce for Mongo. He has to push for the centre and hold it, or move his villagers onto this northwest side of the map and go for more hunting. Colonial Hussars now going for the fight. Veteran Hussars being researched, have been caught out by the veteran cuirassiers before going to the skirmishers. And after that fight, after his cavalry going down, it would have just been skirmishers on musketeers. GG has been called. iamturk picking up game number 1 here. Let's look at that villager count for Mongo. You can see the villager count drastically in his favour as a result of playing the British civilization versus iamturk's French CDBs. CDBs much more, well, they gather faster, so they gather about 1.25 times the speed of a normal European settler. So naturally, you'd expect the British to have more villagers. Let alone we don't even include their manor house bonus of spawning a villager every time you build a manor house. That eco was noticeable up until the point when Mongo got to the third age. Afterwards, it felt that that villager training had slowed down a little bit from Mongo's side as he tried to focus on defending iamturk's aggressive push there. Veteran musketeers, falconets being shipment number 1 from Turk. But after that happening, the fact that iamturk was training cuirassiers instead of shipping 3 cuirassiers, built a stable, trained some of these heavy cavalry and sent them raiding on Mongo's exposed hunting villagers. It was just brutal pickups. In total, 24 villagers were lost, maybe a little bit more at the end of the game. 44 going down to 33 in that raid on the top right hand side of the map. And then in that middle island, going from 35 down to 27, so 8 villagers lost there, and those villas were just running to the town centre, but they just couldn't shake off the cavalry at that point. The eco was then firmly in Turk's favour, XP in his favour, and everything just started to go in the way of iamturk as the game progressed. Looking at experience, that military combat experience, we can see that stat Gerald loves to talk about gets an extra 200 XP in the combat. That's about the equivalent of extra 20 musketeer kills for iamturk, so certainly a nice difference there. I don't think combat really includes villager kills. It might do. It would make sense, because it probably would include building kills as well, but 1445 to 1244, a little bit of difference there, and that just helps that shipment progression from the French player that little bit better. Gets ahead from the with the TP after about 5 or 6 passes into the Fortress Age, but then once in the Fortress Age, those shipments actually arrive faster due to the combat XP coming in to further increase that XP trickle. Right, good game. Let's move on to game number 2. So, game number 2. Mongo will pick the map because he lost. What? Arkan Manch. So Mongo lost game number 1. His home map pools are Arkansas, Manchuria, and Tibet. So Mongo can pick one of the maps from his own map pool, Tibet. Yeah, he's picked Tibet now. So the map is going to be Tibet. Turk to pick Civ here. This is the first competitive game of the series really for both these players in this tournament. iamturk defeating Chusik 3-1. Did lose one game versus Chusik, who is ranked a major, so a bit of an upset there. However, over a series of a best of 5, the end result wasn't really at risk of being taken away from iamturk. The matchup he did lose though was Ottoman versus Japanese, so get those hashtag Ottomans out. iamturk even losing with his best civilization, the Japanese as well. It's a bit of a feels bad for iamturk. Mongo's first round opponent was Gib the Dirty, but it looks like Gib did forfeit that game. I'm unsure if he's forfeited his place in the entire tournament, because if he played the game out and then lost the series, he would drop down into the second round of the lower bracket, and we'd see Gib playing further games later on. And what does Chusik say in the chat? He was iamturk's first round opponent. I did show units lost. I suppose utilising the UI is always a bit awkward here and there. Trying to get the best information out for you guys all the time. It does take a bit of experience to knowing what information was better. But you could see the action on the screen of the villagers going down. You could see that bar on the top left slowly growing in favour of France, or should I say more accurately, shrinking with respect to the British Civ. But the fact that Mongo had to run his units all around the map to try and catch these cavalry raids was real tough with an immobile army of musketeer, falconets and longbows, only later added in a couple of colonial hussars. But by the time he lost those 24 villagers, it was a little too late. iamturk picks Spain on ESOC Tibet. China comes out from mongo10, and we have seen lots and lots of China on the history of ESOC playing on the map Tibet, so it feels nice to see essentially a map we don't play often anymore, and the Civ which used to dominate this map make a reappearance. Let us see how this game will go on for game number 2. Right, welcome back ladies and gentlemen for game number 2 in this round of 16 engagement between iamturk and mongo10. This is a best of 5. iamturk did win game number 1. That was a French versus British game on Kamchatka, but now we find ourselves in the very rocky, high altitude map of Tibet. iamturk has taken the Spanish civilization to explore these faraway lands. Mongo resorting to the local superior force of the Chinese to help to bend this Tibetan plateau. Looking at the crate start today, looks like it was a wood crate start for both players. iamturk playing as a Spanish, dropping that early house down. Does have an extra wood crate available in his bank. I did miss whether it was an extra food crate as well. I want to say it was because we have... No, I want to say it's not, because we only have 2 villagers in queue for Mongo, and it looks like that third one we're about to be in queue now. I'm unsure enough to properly call it, so I won't call it. Right, Mongo has gone for an early TP on the left-hand side of the map. Does scout a 40 wood treasure, and so we'll only need 150 wood chopped. Well, 50 wood chopped to get that village down. He does actually stop chopping at 150 wood, so the 190 village going down straight away. Some really good early macro coming out from Mongo. He's got those numbers precisely down in the build order, and just saving all that precious villager seconds or villager gathering time in age 1 to help that age up. Right out on the map, it looks like Mongo has seen himself a 75 food treasure. Further will help Mongo's age up time. iamturk capturing his first trading post on the far south side of the map. This is a very sneaky play from iamturk. Very sneaky indeed. And I think iamturk's playstyle will be to try and send advanced trading post as his second card and try and control as many trading posts as possible. And one of the best ways of doing that is just take your opponent's, next to your opponent's side, and then it gives Mongo the decision, do I push iamturk's base, or do I try and take this trading post which is far away from Turk's base, which could allow Turk the time he needs to play his own game on how he wants to, on his own terms. Oh wow, 80 food as well, so Mongo picking up 75 food, 80 food, really good age 1 micro with that 40 wood as well, or macro, pardon me. Mongo is looking to have a really strong age 1. You need to remember, we're playing on Tibet. Livestock are present in the form of yaks, which can fatten on the village. Village is nicely tight against this silver mine, protecting any villagers mining coin. Summer Palace being dropped very defensively behind the town centre. Not the biggest fan of how these villages and building placements are set out. Ideally, this village will be in this section here, or right tucked up between these 2 trees and that mine, and this Summer Palace will be placed forwards as a nice big wall blocking, or trying to hinder any Spanish infantry in the second age pushing in through this avenue to the town centre. iamturk did pick up 85 wood. Oh, he picked up 80 wood as well. Wow, so 2 big food treasures for China, 2 big wood treasures for the Spanish. And that's a dog. So Doggo's going this side. 1 villager herding top side, but could be trying to throw down many, many more trading posts with his villagers just to try and secure the line. It looks like the Mongo maybe hanging around this trading post. Doesn't have any woods to go for the capture. I think iamturk's ATP is going to be basically for free here. I don't see Mongo denying any extra of these trading posts at this point in time. Oh, actually, having said that though, iamturk's Explorer quite low HP, and that dog is in the opposite side of the map. Going through the town centre, could get picked off here by the town centre fire. Only 85 HP. 10 vills will one-shot it, but it looks like Mongo is not going to take the free pickup there, and in this high-level situation, if he had eyes in his town centre at that point, that dog should have been a dead dog. And congratulations to Harcher in the chat, also known as Hatamoto Samurai, also a player in this tournament and previous tournaments. Sounds like he's got himself a new job, so get in there, my boy. Great to see you back on your feet. Let's have a look at Mongo's deck quickly. Mongo playing as China, double wood crates, standard army HP in the second age. I like this card. I feel this card should be in more players' decks. It just gives you that little bit extra longevity in the second age if you want to go pure Colonial. Rattan Shields make an appearance here in the second and the fourth age, but in the third age, no wood crates, just a 1k coin crate. We do have the double skirm upgrades. hand mortars make an appearance over... God, there's a couple of cards here missing, but I can't put my finger on which cards it is. Double face armor is not here for China, but double face armor versus Spain don't often use it because the Spanish don't often use dragoons, so that extra armor H increase is not very useful for the meteor hammers and iron flails. 7 hand mortars, a great card to have versus Spain. Helps defend any early falconet play from Turk. Intervention is here. Manchu is here as usual. Iron Troop also added to the deck for double mercenary options from Mongo. So, Spain, with the ATP play, has 3 TP Stagecoach on the southern side of the map. Built all by his Explorer, no villagers were sent out. An Explorer building the trading posts to the north side as well, not sending any villagers up here to try and preemptively capture or get those trading posts built earlier. Versus China though, it looks like Mongo is doing his own thing in his own base, not chopping any wood, getting a very clean, crisp, fast fortress to the 3rd age, and getting to the fortress age 6 minutes 50 before that magic 7-minute mark. That's a fast age up, so well done for Mongo. It looks like he did eat a couple of the goats and a couple of yaks, and we built that Confucian Academy with many villagers as well, just to get to that fortress age as quick as possible. Mongo has scouted that his home TP is under siege of some Spanish pikemen. Luckily though, he does have some veteran arquebusiers or disciplined arquebusiers nearby, absolutely shutting this down. Dogs nearby, very good versus skirmishers, and not being focused down by Mongo. These dogs are the damage dealers. Yes, you may lose to the trading post, he could try and all his might to save it, but the dogs are getting some good value out in your skirmishers, and I think preserving your skirmisher age up here is just so much more important. You've already got most of that XP you want from that train post anyway, but miraculously, it looks like Mongo only lost 1 arquebusier. Okay, 2 arquebusiers. It was the 8 arquebusier age up instead of 7. 3 Chukanu were nice Ferrari unit stat as well. 1 Chang pikeman going down. And those Chang pikemen's Chukanu were from the Summer Palace. And the fact that that train post is still alive feels bad for Turk, but he's coming in. He's going to siege it. And Mongo really doesn't have the resources to get the repair. Oh no, I lie. He's got that repair off. He just spent 100 wood for that. But siege coming in from Explorer, and that's going to stop the repair at 400 HP. I don't think Mongo gets that refunded. I need to check if it does get refunded, but otherwise he's just lost himself about 80 wood worth of repair in that train post. No matter though, Meteor Hammer's here to clean up. Oh wow, Unction! Do my eyes deceive me? iamturk is going full Colonial with Unction. So Unction Musketeers, Unction Hussars. He is not going to the Fortress Age. And with a build of 700 wood, 8 pikes, 5 vil, 700 coin. Aging up on the 5 vil or 700 coin could have been a great time to age. But actually, iamturk's thinking, China's up fast, he's up aggressive. I've only got that slow age. If I advance myself, I could be really punished. And probably the safer play is just to go with age 2. But I really like this play to go for that early Unction. Upgrade your units while you still have those units on the map. Instead of sending Unction as 3 cards later and sending Rodolero shipment now. Rodolero's much less significant than units with all these missionaries buffing it. Now come the Rodoleros catching the Meteor Hammers. Hussars going for the early engagement on the other batch of Meteor Hammers here. Not liking that. But here come the reinforced musketeers and hussars. Donkeys coming in. Who expects the Spanish missionaries? We certainly don't. But here come the missionaries. Mongo's thinking, what the hell? Musketeers, 33 ranged attack in the 2nd age. Hussars, 42 hand attack as well. He just cuts through China's army as if it's nothing. Redcoat Musketeers, 29 ranged attack. No match for Spanish 32 ranged attack Musketeers. And in a bigger mass, bigger eco with plenty more reinforcements, cleans up that early push. Turk is pushing out with the initiative, and Mongo is running for the hills. Fry tag the pet macaques up the top side. Let's look at reinforcements, see what Mongo is sending as reinforcements. Currently not training any units, but looks like a big batch of standard army. Well, the Territorial Army has just come out. Territorial Army from the Confucian Academy, not Confucian, the Summer Palace has just come out as well. A couple of Redcoats still alive from that first push, but looks like Mongo is going pure Territorial Army. That is Changdao and skirmishes to try and defend himself. But Turk, I want to say he's got to back off here and age up. He's not committing that push, but he does have a Musk Huss in queue. Is that age up happening after this villager? I don't think it is. We'll have to see where the rest of his resources are going. Looks like iamturk is firmly in the colonial age still, training 3 Musk, 2 Hussars, so a 3 Musketeer batch, more Hussars being trained, switching down to the southern side, keeping his food villagers nice and safe. We're going to position his army down and try and push China's southern flank. China's looking to take control of this stagecoach line on the southern side. Minutemen were called. They looked like they were called a while ago. But ATP could pick off a couple of units here. Might pick off one Changdao. It's going to be close. And Changdao living with 52 HP, nice and safe there. But villagers are hunting down here, but here comes the push. Here comes the Spanish unction play in the second age. No one expects the Spanish unction, do they? Right, Hussars with cavalry HP to tank a little bit more. 46 hand attack. These are essentially cavalry units with high HP, but with Ulan attack in the second age. Musketeers 35 range attack. Similar stats to a similar attack to a disciplined Ashi Garu with Golden Pavilion as well. So strong units behind this. Unfortunately, though, for him, the Musketeers will get picked off quite quickly by the arquebusiers. It's just the low HP that's really hurting iamturk. They have very decent stopping power, but they get picked off pretty quickly. And I think Turk wants to preserve these units. Probably age up at some point, but he's not. He's still training more units, and he's just backing off and allowing China to mass even more. And I feel that by Spain backing off, he's missed his window. He might get a nice raid somewhere, but China's China. They have villages to garrison villages. It feels now that Turk moving around the map is actually going to play into Mongo's hands for giving the China player more time, and Territorial Army upgrade comes in, just buffing this entire massive units, and this is growing quite considerably. 8 villagers in this village though under threat. Mongo is chasing after in hot pursuit. Villager goes down, but only one villager goes down as well. It looks like Turk is very conscientious that if he actually goes and fights the villagers, he may actually lose more units than he really ought to versus skirmisher, pike army here, or should I say arquebusiers, Changdaos, and the Redcoats. You gotta remember, Redcoats are very nice in this composition as well, just doing that strong range damage while the Changdaos closing and cut these Hussars up. Oh my god, look at all these Hussars going down. That is a big pickup. That is a lot of resources going down. That is pretty much the age up resources he needed, just going down the drain at that point. Big raid southern side though, 4 more Hussars, villagers, explorer pushing back Mongo's vills, but this could be the point Mongo just turns his attention to the Spanish town centre, charges forwards and takes down the precious infrastructure, but Spain cannot really afford to lose at this point. Action happening all over the map here. Total villagers going down already. 3 villas apiece, but looking to be more from Mongo. He's losing villas down to the south. Pike minutes come out to defend, but big raid top side though. All these villagers, no great coats, and there's so many skirmishers and royal veteran musketeers, shall I say, with a 29 range attack. A lot of Spanish villagers are going down there, and 14 villagers going down for iamturk. And if he didn't have the momentum from You know, those previous engagements go to the Third Age. Yeah, well, he certainly doesn't have it now. That is brutal to see. Freitag taking on the missionaries, and missionaries would win in that fight, obviously. But it's just, it must be awkward for iamturk just to hear this attack animation go off. Flying Crow gets in a triple kill on the Musketeers. Chang Dao's snaring the remaining two in range for the firing squad of the Chinese arquebusiers, and they're going to take both of these Musketeers down without question. A couple of villagers hunting very precariously on the far northwest of the map on Mongo's side, as they would say. More villagers though in the trapped in the village down south. Not really anywhere for them to escape. He's trying to. Oh, Manchu pop on the village. Oh wow, this is huge. And I think that might be the game ending move there. I think iamturk losing that potential for all those villager kills. You might still get the village and the villagers, but that Chinese army is nearby now, and Manchu. I feel it's very hard for Spain to deal with this. Missionaries, though, could be very good at tanking. They're not cavalry, they're only priests, so they won't get the multipliers from the Manchu. And you see Manchu just trying to run away from all the musketeers and the snaring hussars. But now these musketeers are pinned up on the opposite side of the map where they ought to be. Arquebusiers have an absolute field day here, just taking pot shots. It would be nice to see the next shipment being the +1 multiplier versus heavy infantry for the skirmishers and arquebusier attack. That'd be very strong. Repelling volley it's called. But it's just now missionaries and musketeers. iamturk's eco not looking great. Slightly better than what China has. But even getting a Chang Dao raid right side. This Flying Crow is just aimlessly going north, guarded by a couple of these Chang Dao's redcoats, 2 arquebusiers. There's stuff all over the map here. And the Zuta more stuff principle. Not often applied in this context, but Mongo has more stuff in more places at once than what iamturk has. And a couple of Manchu just teasing the musketeers to stay and fight. But the arquebusiers just picking the remainders up. And I feel that the game is pretty much over. It just needs Mongo to kind of go for that push with all his units at the same place. Even the missionary is getting picked off now. Only buffing 4 units is a pretty sad sight to see. Donkey's not very good in combat. But they tank a lot of damage though. 200 damage, no multipliers against them at all. So they're not cavalry, they're not infantry. Oh, here comes repelling volley, and any musketeer play would have been brutally shut down now. And the GG comes in. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. I didn't expect the Spanish Unction, and I definitely didn't expect the Spanish Colonial Unction. Colonial Unction boosted Musketeer Hussar strategy from iamturk. Double stable, double barracks in the end. Never went to the Fortress Age. There could be a time where iamturk went to the Fortress Age with veteran Hussar, veteran Musketeers, Unction scaling off those veteran stats as well, so even bigger unction boost. Falconets to help out, and the Falconets would have been very nice from iamturk actually, from what Mongo had. Enough units to defend from any meteor hammers, but then Mongo went pure Chang Dao arquebusier in this matchup. Didn't train many cavalry units after the early batch of what is it? The it's not. Is it not territorial? It's the oh my god. Anyway, Cav batch, the 5 meteor hammer shipments, and then also the 2 meteor hammer, 2 iron flail Cav batch. I think Mongo trained that Cav batch there because of the anticipation that iamturk may soon be in the Fortress Age. Try and pick off those Falconets when he could, but once you saw the Musketeers and the Hussars with the unction boost at this point, you can see Mongo was running for it, but actually running away thinking, I'm in the Fortress Age, I've got strong units here, just need to remass, get that China Death Ball going, and split the Death Ball up into multiple sections. Villager kills all around the map, and in the end, 20 kills going down for iamturk, 15 from Mongo. That Manchu pop from the village though, I think gave Mongo that final decisive advantage over iamturk, where Turk couldn't really come back. Good pop, picked off quite a few units, kept the military units invested to this side of the map for a longer period of time, allows these skirmishes and Changdao to close in from the town centre, and well, from his own base, but closing in onto the far southwest of the map. Villagers escaped onto this coin mine, saved quite a few of the villagers, but picked off quite a few of those military units in process. And yeah, iamturk was basically hanging on, hoping that the village kill and the 12 villagers inside would have all been picked off without any loss of life for his side. It just didn't happen though. Cheeky Chinese villages with the spawn point being really well used in this game from Mongo. Mongo did lose quite a few villagers as the game went on, but we'll probably see from the military unit population, it's just Turk was trading off military population for Mongo's eco, but he just had no real way to remass at this point, where Mongo still had shipments to send, upgrades to send, stronger units. Could have even used disciples more. I felt that Explorer, I didn't see that Explorer too much this game. He was too busy taking a nap in the Spanish town center, so that's why we didn't see the Explorer or disciples. It could be nice to send one unit to revive that unit there. Right, GG, let's move into game number 3. So, Mongo won game number 2. So, iamturk can now pick from his own map pool. We can see he's selected Thar Desert. iamturk's map pool, Thar Desert, Cascade Range, and Adirondacks. That is a very strange map pool for iamturk. iamturk's one of his favourite civs is the Japanese. It's a civ I feel he's so strong with, but I don't really see any of these maps really playing into Japan's hands or making it a strong Japanese map. Thar Desert, Cascade Range, very similar, no trading posts, quite aggressive maps, and we have seen plenty of aggressive matchups in this situation. Adirondacks does have the trading post line, but it's a very short map, small rust distance. So, looks like the map was Thar Desert, Mongo picked Russia, and iamturk going for the Russia mirror. Just need to quickly check before we start the next game. Yep. Yes. Right, both players are ready. Russian mirror on Thar Desert. What a classic matchup we've seen from years gone back. Specifically the 2019 LAN qualification tournament and the actual LAN itself. Escape LAN, shall I say. May Escape rest in peace. But I think after that tournament we had enough of Thar Desert, but iamturk is bringing this classic out to be used again in this tournament. Coin mines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, yeah. Right, welcome back guys, game number 3. Russia mirror on Thar Desert, a map we haven't seen in ages. A sprawling landmass of wavy sands, dunes. It gives the appearance of raised ground and lower ground. Well, it actually is raised ground and lower ground, and all these shadows just emphasize how this landmass moves up and down across the map. However, for any Age of Empire 2 players or Age of Empire 1 players for you, it does not have any stat effects. It would be kind of cool if it was possible to implement some high ground stat bonuses in combat versus lower ground units, but there are no stat bonuses for fighting up a hill, down a hill, on a mound. So it's just here for illustrative purposes. We have seen some funny visual effects as a result of these wavy sand dunes. Right, wood crates start for both players. It won't matter too much because this is a mirror, so same bonus for the same, and yeah, same bonus for both players. But both players are moving around trying to scout some treasures. Looks like iamturk though, seeing 85 wood straight away. His side of the map, he thinks he's safe to go for it, so he's going to start aggroing one tiger and going to go for the snap. Pardon me. Going to aggro one tiger and go for the crack shot straight away afterwards. I was just checking if something happened in real life there, but no, I'm good to continue. Mongo, on the other hand, seeing his own 90 wood treasure, so 85 going for iamturk, 90 wood likely to be going for Mongo. He managed to get 2 shots off on the line before having to accept the fate that the line has aggroed onto Explorer. Could try and go for the hand combat, just pick it off quickly instead of taking all this extra attack as he walks towards the treasure, but I suppose in a tournament game you just have to ensure the safety of that 90 wood treasure. You see Mongo's right next to that treasure after he picked up that lion kill, and iamturk wasn't too far by actually, so in the end that could have been a treasure saving decision, but actually that lion kill had been killed earlier, so it wouldn't have mattered. But it's nice to see anyway. I have to say, not a great deal of scouting here from iamturk. It looks like he pushed out down to the southern side, wrapped around with the Explorer, but overlapping his Explorer's line of sight with the town centre line of sight, and going to this northern side where he did pick up that treasure, but his vision of the map's pretty poor. Only sees his second hunt and this mine. He misses the elephants up here. No, where have they gone? Oh, they wandered off over here. I think he does see them, or he's just about sees them. No, I don't think he actually sees them. This is the path iamturk took, so he would have missed these 4 elephants. Forward villagers from iamturk. He's going to herd his 3rd hunt back in, or his 3rd ibex hunt. His other elephants are closer, dropping a blockhouse on the southern side of this Udasi temple. So blockhouse covering a copper mine, a couple of trees, and a hunt. Mongo, mark it down transition, hunting dogs, looking to go for a defensive blockhouse in this case. Interesting to see how that all works. You need to be considerate how this isn't a high hunt map, and if you can't push out for your elephants, 4 elephants down here. Elephants, where are the other elephants? Those pesky elephants, man. They're hiding right in the corner, not scouted out by Mongo, but they're far away from iamturk's southern blockhouse. But actually, I think Mongo actually might be quite happy and fine with how his map spawns and how the game is going to progress. Blockhouse, though, is a bit far from the town centre for my liking. You want these 2 buildings to both overlap each other with their range. The blockhouse is likely to be in the fire of town centre, or in the range of the town centre fire. But vice versa, though, that town centre is not really covered by the blockhouse, so any Cossack raids on this northern side may get some good raiding in. iamturk's deck here. Very standard, as we expect. No Eco Theory in the first age. 2 heavy cannons make its appearance in the 4th age. Does have refrigeration in age 3. Not really too much else to note here. It does have 6 Cossack, 6 Oplichniks, and 5 Cav Archers. Not often you see all 3 of those cards being used. Mongo, well, pardon me, all 3 of those cards are being used again. The same age 3 cards, actually, exactly the same age 3. Same age 2 cards as well. Pretty much the same deck. Right, 5 Cossacks coming out from iamturk. First card for Mongo is also 5 Cossacks. Defensive, Strelets being trained, and Strelets being trained from iamturk. So far, mirror builds. Russian Explorer here, tanking a few of the Cossack swings, trying to bait iamturk into taking that engagement, but iamturk is wise enough to back off. iamturk has the market down. No market text just yet, but mongo10, hunting dogs, just getting steel traps now. So you can see how iamturk is pushing this northern side of the market, but he's out of range of the blockhouse, and it feels like if you're playing defensive, you want this blockhouse continuously firing. You want to make the most of every single shot. But this tower, it's a barracks and a tower, but it's not really acting as a tower just yet. It's just a single town centre firing with. It was 8 vills there, so it felt that iamturk could have got slightly more punished for that, but manages to back away, only losing in the end 1 Strelet or 1 Cossack. So what's the game plan here? Because it looks like mongo10 is in a very slightly early lead as a result of not losing the units, getting market techs a little bit earlier. Shipment does come in slightly later, but looking at the XP curves now, it looks to be fair enough to say. It looks like iamturk wants to go for a second blockhouse somewhere. Potentially a blockhouse on these elephants would be quite nice, or a blockhouse right here covering the koi mine, being protected by the first blockhouse, and herd this elephants away. And I think iamturk needs to be very conscious of the map, of the hunts, and try and contain Mongo within his base. And say, if you want to take map control, come and get it and push out your base. Mongo does scout the elephants to the north. He sees that these are quite far away from the angle that iamturk pushed in, so may want to drop a blockhouse in this position and herd the elephants towards the blockhouse to secure more resources. Quick look at units in queue, both players having villagers in queue, as to be expected is highest of high level gameplay. Blockhouse being thrown down by Mongo, and Mongo throwing a blockhouse on his elephant hunt to the north, just making sure he can actually protect the hunt before he needs it. I like that play. There's nothing worse when you have to move 20 villagers around the map to get your next hunt, then go to it and realise your opponent's already built 10 outposts on it. So this early preemptive play from Mongo, really smart, really forward thinking. I certainly like it and give it Harrison's thumbs up and sign of appreciation. Still a single blockhouse here for iamturk. Did incorporate the stable at home. You could actually go for the stable near your blockhouse as well to just shorten that time for reinforcements. I feel that the only reason you want to do a stable at home is just to protect your stable in case you lose your forward blockhouse. But I feel that iamturk's play style and kind of strategy here really is just to kind of try and contain Mongo the best. But I suppose now that Mongo is safely established on his top side on his elephants and getting a really good herding on his elephants next to the blockhouse. Massive overkill though, unfortunately. But more villagers are moving over with their steel traps, so going to get some really good gathering. Would like to see greatcoats though. Yeah, if you're gathering away from your town centre and only having a single blockhouse to defend, it'd be a worthwhile investment, specifically for both players as well. Especially Turk villagers down here. A 2 Cossack raid or a 3 Cossack raid could be quite nice. Oh, this is cute. These 2 explorers walking side by side, having a good old chat in Russian to each other. Unfortunately though, Mongo is just luring iamturk to his death. Going for a stroll with what you would call who you think is your mate, but actually just turns out to be your own worst enemy. Good play there from Mongo. Whether it's intentional or not, we won't know. 700 woods, 700 coin coming for both players. Boyar's the next card out in total. Let's look at the military units and see how their armies differ, and well, they don't differ at all. Mongo has about 5 less musketeers, but an extra batch of Cossacks. I think a batch of Cossacks is likely to be on the queue for iamturk, and there's those 5 Cossacks just being trained there. So the only difference is 5 additional Cossacks for Mongo, 10 more musketeers for iamturk, and actually that trade I'd say is probably even because those 5 Cossacks they are buoyed. You can tell this is going to be one of those games. It's just going to boil down to that one decisive engagement, and I think the player who can fight this engagement closest to their own blockhouse and reinforcements will be in a strong position. You can see how Mongo was wanting to try and push Phillies, try and get a raid on some of these elephants, but actually decided, no, I might get caught in iamturk's base or near his blockhouses and backed off. iamturk going to go for the raid on the north side of 3 Cossacks, pushing south side. No, he's not pushing. Give Anxiety the Great always says your raiding is most useful when you're actually distracting the enemy army with a push from your main army. So a couple of Cossacks here should get scouts out very quickly, and here comes the defensive maneuver from Mongo, and these villagers should be able to get into their outpost, but there's no great... Oh, they do have the great coats now. Actually run towards the Cossacks. May lose one villager, but actually if he gets all 3 of these Cossacks, that'd be a great pickup from Mongo and good defensive play. Oh, just snare one Cossack. Just snare one. Oh, I think Turk's getting away with this one. That's lucky from Turkey. Really shouldn't have been allowed to get away there, but he did in the end. iamturk sends in Scout Cavalry. 5%. Was it? No, it's 10% HP. 10% HP on the cavalry. Extra line of sight. Does not affect Strelets. 13 Strelets from Mongo. Remember, these are boiled upgrades, so they're actually quite strong units, shipment to send at this point, because they are stronger than regular Strelets. That big fight is going to happen at some point soon. Scores are equal at the moment. Economic population is pretty much even, slightly in favour of Turk, but I think it's just a little bit of villager disparity in train time. No major idling. iamturk having steel traps and placer mines. Mongo having all the upgrades he really needs, including Gangster as well. Come on, guys, just fight, just fight, just do something. This excitement, I can barely contain it. Okay, a little bit of sarcasm there. However, this is what we're talking about, having to push out for extra resources. The army from Mongo is keeping his villagers secure. Same with Turk, and they're kind of pushing around. Right, second raid of the game. Looks like Mongo is moving around, but iamturk does have his great coats, but will pick off one villager, 2 villagers going down. And I think Mongo will do well to back off at this point. Pick up a couple of Cossacks. You see iamturk going for the counter raid while Mongo was focused on his own actions, but goes straight into Mongo's army. A lot of Strelets here. iamturk thinking his Cossack mass might do very well at this point, and I think he's going to go for the engagements. But Cossacks returns from that raid for Mongo, and there's a lot of musketeers here for iamturk. He's continuing that musketeer production, and it looks like iamturk's favoured musketeers over Strelets in this fight. Mongo's musketeers taking that frontline defensive role. Cossacks wanting to engage, but not engaging. Could just slam it all in here, waiting to see what's happening. Mongo's moving, not fighting. Strelets actually turn and fight. Big engagement going to happen at this moment. There's a lot of units at this moment. Probably a lot of input commands going on. All these musketeers going into hand combat at this point. Cossacks being pulled back on the north side. Cossacks down to the southern side, not really fighting. They just stand around. This is awkward for both players. I'm not dropping any frames. This is just action between Mongo and Turk. And at the end of the day, military population bang even between the 2 players. How do you call this? I don't know. I think iamturk, with having more musketeers in this close fight, actually is looking to be in a somewhat stronger position. That infantry mass on the southern flank for Mongo is crumbling. Cossacks pushing on to the Strelets. Strelets now far into the Cossacks. And musketeers taking down Cossacks on the north side for Mongo. So this is better positioning from iamturk. And it seems to be that having a heavy musketeer mass is actually a strong option to have in the Russian mirror. And after all that, the Cossacks are gone, the Strelets are snared, and the game is pretty much over. That is a big loss to have, and the GG had been called. And that was as close and as mirrored as you can get up to that point. But iamturk just having that slight edge in position there. I'll be a bit disappointed if I was Mongo to lose that. Not saying that he deserves to win it, but because how it was so close, but then it fell apart in that one engagement. Who knows, could you say that Team Cavalry Scouts, that 10% extra HP was so crucial in that engagement, and having 4 Cossacks afterwards reinforcing, really nice. Look at mongo10's bank of resources, 900 coin from that 600 coin shipment, didn't affect that fight. in the end. So iamturk fighting with essentially, you could say, 2 shipments and 2 better shipments versus this singular 13 Strellet shipments, and overcame his opponent that way. Well, good game for both players. Musketeers. Oh, I've just seen Perez saying, "Hey, put total military units in." I've already done that. I'm a step ahead of you, boy. I'm a step ahead of you. I got the world at my fingertips here. Villager count. You can see iamturk just ooh. So this all stems off really from iamturk getting those villagers in queue early on in the game. This is so important and crucial. For Russia, it is the most important civ in the game to get that villager split going on. 1 villager per 1 food crate. Get that first batch of units, villagers being trained as fast as possible. As you can see, that might be a precursor for how the game just kind of slowly drifted in favour for iamturks in the kind of economic sense as the game went on. Aged up slightly faster, started training the next batch of vills slightly earlier. An extra 3 villagers faster than villagers with hunting dogs is more important than those villagers with hunting dogs. The on-market text then came in from iamturk, and it just sensed that eco is very slightly stronger than iamturk. It wasn't game breaking, but that's a big factor to include actually at this high level game. And as the game went on, it looks like all resources gathered drifted and varied, but slightly in favour of iamturk. Mongo did send that 600 coin towards the end of the game. Big fight. Mongo, larger military unit mass, but there were more Strelets than there were Musketeers. iamturk went for more Musketeers and Strelets. iamturk having stronger Cossacks, and the additional 4 Cossacks to reinforce as well was a very smart addition. I think they came in a little bit late though, yeah. I think towards the end they came in time. 1508, 30. No, they were in for the fight. Yeah, so I think that's a insight of how to play a Russian mirror. Hope you enjoyed that one. Right, game number 4. Let's go on. So Thar Desert is gone, Tibet's gone. Mongo lost that last game, so Mongo can pick from his home map pool. His maps remaining are Arkansas and Manchuria. Mongo hopping into the chat there briefly just to have a quick gander on what's happening on the screen. And yeah, it was just the 2 final shipments. Scout HP, or Cossack HP, having 4 Cossacks instead of 13 Strelets, 600 coin. I initially gave praise to the 13 Strelets, and I didn't feel that was an incorrect shipment at the time. I felt that was absolutely fine. Just didn't really push once that shipment came in. That might have been the one game move you'd want to change if you was to look back at that. But iamturk though, that extra HP and then sending a unit shipment had been double carded, so Cossacks being buffed by the boyars under cavalry HP. Those 4 Cossacks were really strong units to include in the fight as well. I mean, that fighting position. Kev the Gooner, yeah, placer mines, placer mines. I've seen this before. I know it's true. However, you will never see a word in English spelled like that, pronounced like that. I'm thinking of tracer, bracer, racer. Not laser. That's slightly different. Yeah, I did say tracer, didn't I? Quick word game, guys. How many of these type of words can you think? So we've had racer, we've had bracer, tracer. Pacer? Yeah. A paceman or pacer, you could say. Yeah. And the thing is, I said placer mines all my life, and if you went into anywhere in England and had that, you won't find a single person who's a placer. And for that reason, it might just be a Google Translate issue on American English, or it might be what it is you guys say in America. But hey, I wouldn't trust you Yanks with the language. I don't know, if I just start saying plaster mines, it feels so weird. It feels like I've been lying to myself all this time this game's been out. I just don't feel, I feel that I can actually accept that plaster mines is placer mines, and we just kind of go, yeah, sure, and just move on. But then again, there are a lot of funky things in the English language, so that is not exactly a abnormality. There's so many problems with English as a language, but hey, somehow it's ended up as the kind of the francophone of the world, and there'll be generations to come who'll be picking up this horrendously bad, buggy. There's problems throughout the English language. Apparently, German's actually not a bad language. It's very easy to kind of construct words. They sound as they're spelt. I saw a funny video of like comparing words in different languages, and one of them was aeroplane. So there's aeroplane in English, in French, Spanish, Italian. They all sound very, very similar. And then gets to the German. I don't know what that word was they said, but it certainly didn't sound like aeroplane. Yes. Jerry Muno just spamming random crap in the chat. Acer, Basil, Bracer. Nah. He's just trying to put words in my mouth, but I'm only seeing 5, which... glacier, not glacier. Yeah, I've only seen 4 or 5 words in that list actually are actual words. Right, we are back for game number 4 between iamturk, mongo10, round of 16, best of 5 series. Last game, Russia mirror, iamturk managing to prevail over Mongo in a decisive engagement after all the players had boomed and massed a huge army in the second age. We're now into the 4th game. Indians taking on the British on Arkansas. A quick check at the map. Yeah, it looks like all the mines have spawned. There's not a lot of coin on this map. There's only 1 coin in the middle of the map, but there's both players having a coin mine far wide and far south, and we're good to play. Hang on a minute. Want to hunt? That's a nearby hunt, yeah, and you could herd that in as well. 1, 2. That top hunt's a bit closer. Oh yes, this is absolutely fine. I'm loving it. Loving it. iamturk picking up 75 wood. Really nice treasure to pick up as the Indians. Their villagers cost wood. 90 food coming up from Mongo. Yeah, decent treasure. You never say no to 90 food. Any civ that needs food to age up, so will help that age 1. Mongo, if he's feeling very lucky, could go for... Well, I assume he's trying to go for that 16 villager age up because he's only got 1 manor house and is just purely hunting at this point. If he gets a second food treasure, and there's 80 food here, he could try and go for a fast age here. 15 villager age up. We'll have to see. iamturk is on the top side of the map, scouting the medicine man, the CDB, and a 95 wood treasure. So nice treasure top side. Treasure contention though. Mongo is working on his black bear, but I think he's gonna... I think it's close. I think Mongo's got it. No, Turk's got it. Turk has stolen 80 food from Mongo, 160 food swing, and because Turk's playing the Indians, which is an Asian civilization, that will directly buff or help his age up time. Currently at 400 food, and will be advancing slower or at a later point than the British civilization. So that was crucial pickup for iamturk there. Mongo will be kicking himself. 40 food being picked up here by Mongo. Looks like iamturk is lining himself up for a CDB pickup. On this map, it feels like, after playing this map many times in casting, this Medicine Man is hard-coded into it. And so is this CDB treasure is hard-coded into the map as well. Always spawns, it feels like, on the top side. And there's 2 Cherokee rifles. Cherokee settlements with Cherokee riflemen. Right, this is actually a bit risky having all 4 bears lined up like this. That stun doesn't last forever. He's trying to focus down the bears which were not stunned. Oh, he loses one. He does an explorer. 2 are attacking now, and the third is about to kind of unstuck. 2 bears attacking this one explorer. It's going to be close. It's going to be that final kill, and he does survive with 22 HP. But the other explorer is currently down 22 HP, remaining on a single explorer. And if there's any other unit here from the British civilization, an explorer or a rogue villager or a native, that would have been pretty much game over for both of these 2 explorers. Okay, it would be game over. It'd be lights out for the 2 explorers. That CDB would never be picked up, and Mongo could have stolen that treasure for himself. I find for the Cherokee, interesting civ, native civ on this map. Quick look at their techs. 4 settlers for 200 wood, 200 coin, and 100 food, 100 coin. Your market techs no longer cost wood. Both those techs though are researchable in age 1, so you could go for 4 villagers in age 1. It will severely delay your age up time, and maybe if you get the trading post up age, and then gather the resources to get that tech while you're aging up, that could be strong. And it looks like iamturk is actually now going for the Cherokee settlement once he's actually thrown down that in-base aggro. So iamturk going to go for the Cherokee settlement for their extra eco bonuses and market techs there. May actually want to go for the Cherokee basket weaving for the markets costing techs costing no wood. Save that wood for your villagers. That is an option. However, if he's going to also try and go for the 4 villagers, can he afford that early market? We'll have to see what iamturk's playstyle is. Okay, here comes the market. I'm expecting the tech, which is the no wood costing upgrade, to be coming in very, very soon. 100 food, 100 coin, remember, and he hasn't got it just yet. He is getting it now. Cherokee basket weaving is incoming. And maybe iamturk could send foreign logging to help him get that wood count growing, sell a bit of food, get 200 coin, and then go for the 4 villagers straight away as well. Right, Mongo is at home, going for a quite decent sized mana boom. Currently at 110 mana population. Continuing with the mana play, only now training his first longbowman at 5 minutes 45 seconds. Didn't go for a TP / Virginia company this map. That's because of the crate starts. It wasn't a wood crate start, so couldn't really afford that trading post in age 1. And Mongo's just playing British the standard way at the moment. You see, Mongo was tempted to try and pick up that native warrior, and just to deny it from iamturk and take a little bit of HP off these units, but he realised that explorer would have got focused down very quickly by the sepoys, and so Mongo's just backed out of that as fast as he could. 300 export coming in from iamturk. Does he have that villager upgrade yet? He doesn't have the 4 villagers, but you can get 4 villagers from the Cherokee settlements, which is strong. You also go down for a consulate, ally with the Ottomans, and also get another 4 villagers from their consulate tech. Consulate being thrown down, and is he going for the... He's only going for civil servants now. He's not going for that 4 villager tech just yet. Surely he would know that there's a 4 villager tech in the Cherokeans, especially if you're going for, you know, really upgraded units from the market, or again all the market techs. He's just queuing them up one after the other. Those 4 villagers will be such a strong tech to research from the Cherokee as well. Could this be some sort of really eco play from iamturk and then just jump into the industrial age, get the age up to the fortress age, and if you're under pressure from the British, then play fortress, but if you're not, sneak in that 4th age there and play with honoured sepoy. Urumi could even save that export for the Ottoman bombard. He's going for the Ottoman consulate now. That's a funny play we've seen from iamturk previously in India Mirrors. Looking at iamturk's deck, he has good faith agreements. Didn't send it this game and won't likely send it at all. Royal green jackets to help Gurkhas versus British musketeers. Double Mahout Lancer card in the 3rd age, but double Urumi shipment in 4th. And it doesn't scream to be a industrial age deck, but it does have 1,000 coin, but could just use the coin from the Taj Mahal age up in the 3rd age. And I think it just gives iamturk options, which is the most important thing. Options to go age 3, options just to go age 4 and spam the infinite Urumi card. So, Cherokee Syllabary, or I was going to call it the Cherokee Library. 4 villagers being researched right now from iamturk from the Cherokee. Also getting the 4 settlers from the Ottoman consulate, so an extra 8 villagers working for iamturk's eco at the moment, and that is a very big bonus to the Indian ecos. It is so the Cherokee spawned from the... They both spawned from the aggro, so there's 8 villagers there. Settler. Yeah, they're all labelled as settlers. But let's look at the eco units. 8 settlers and 31 villagers. Alright, yeah, so these are villagers. And these are settlers. Just a name difference. No stat difference. And they all have the same Indian skin on them as well. God, these guys must get really hot mining coin in the American sun. iamturk's eco, though, just keeping up with the British eco quite comfortably. Mongo's at 200 population and can't really get any extra villagers now unless he sends the 8 villager cards in age 3. But iamturk will get a villager for every single shipment he sends. He has the wood trickles. I think Turk's in a very decent position here. Mongo's looking to push out and gonna go for upgraded longbowmen and musketeers. Not getting the upgrades in just yet. Only has he does have double barracks, no stable. Guarding the Hussar raid topside, but the infantry is moving into Turk's base. Greatcoats has been researched. 1 villager going down. The 2nd will go down, but I don't think any more would go down as a result. Mongo, though, doesn't have any cavalry to defend any raids. 2 falconets. Looks like Mongo has realised that iamturk may be doing some sort of greedy playstyle at this point and wants to punish it with falconets, veteran musketeers. iamturk is likely sent another shipment, and I don't think it's coin. He's aged up with the Charminar gates. That's 1 Mahout Lancer on the field, and with enough food, could get a batch of Urumi. Could get another batch of Mahouts as well. Urumi, I think, will do just very decently. Just basically right-click with double sentry pop. Minutemen from the Ottoman consulate. Certainly, don't forget about that. That's a good option, but I don't think is the export available for that, or has he already trained it? Is it being researched? Tech's being researched. I'm not too sure. I don't think it is. No. But he's still waiting for that first shipment. He's just trying to buy time and keep Mongo interested in the aggro fort. I would love to see sepoys and all the cavalry moving to the right side and a big unit pop coming from the aggro fort. Will it arrive in time? I don't think so. And that is disappointing to see. Shipment not arriving at the aggro fort in time. Mongo. Musketeer combat. 2 falconets on the field. Yeah, these units are so strong. As Siege Elephants is card number 1. Yeah, I guess it's to deal with the falconets, and Mongo's seen this. Those falconets are running, but this is just you feel that maybe the Urumi would actually get things done and force that engagement, but no, Mongo's just running at this point, and the Siege Elephants, they've somewhat briefly nullified the falconets, but they actually haven't traded off each other. It's just veteran musketeers with the veterancy upgrade and the combat card, but falconets though unprotected from the musketeer mass and trying to go in, but the cavalry's not taking it. He's not taking it. He's just going to go for the snare, pin down the infantry here. The falconets moving around, and the mahouts, the elephants, the hussars, they're down. The falconets are still alive. That is some poor unit control from iamturk. I thought those falconets were there for the taking. The siege elephants have retreated really far back because they were taking fire from the British musketeers. And the fact that you send 2 siege elephants and the falconets are still standing 1 minute later, that's a bit awkward. Oh, here come the Urumi pop on the musketeers. That is what I was saying the Mongo should be afraid of, and I was expecting iamturk to do, but he does eventually pull the trigger. Falconets just need to try and fight as possible. He does lose one to the siege elephant. Need to turn and fight. He lose the second one regardless. Yeah, he's going to lose it without a shot. That's sad to see, and because the falconets did not pick off many Urumi, all those musketeers went down as well. And after having said all that done, I think it's a probably evens after that. Mongo did have the lead, but iamturk's Urumi pop has got him back in the game. Slightly larger military population, but the British have a stronger eco now because Mongo sent 8 villagers. Managed to squeeze that in. Unfortunately, though, they've been raided to that forward coin mine, and there are disciplined sepoys nearby. Where is that consulate? Consulate's gone down, isn't it? So currently, I believe these units are on the Ottoman consulate. They're not the British consulate, so not the HP buff. But I may be wrong. Let's look at the villagers. No HP buff there, so it's still on the Ottoman consulate in terms of stat bonuses. Needs to put another consulate if he wants to change it, which is quite expensive. Okay, here come the 2 mahout shipments. Lots of food though. Could have gone for a 3 mahout, and an extra mahout at this point would prove very, very strong. Look at the longbow reinforcements. These musketeers need to really put in the work here and pick off all these mahouts. But longbow's just going to put in a lot of fire from range. Settlers tanking fire from the siege elephants. These are brushing off these elephants as if they're nothing. But so much more infantry here for mongo10, pushing back iamturk. And you know, both players are having strong eco, but it looks like Mongo is just in. Now that he's stabilised after that Urumi pop, and getting away with 8 villagers at the same time, Mongo must be in a great position. Outpost on the Hudson mine. May want to put an outpost up here on the berries as well, and just kind of get some sort of line of vision, a line of sight, pardon me, between this cliff, the mine, the top natives. That would be very nice. A couple of units being picked off there, and total villagers going down so far. I was about to say 3 apiece, but no, that's 3 settlers going down and 6 villagers. So 9 economic villagers in total for iamturk has gone down. So that investment into Ottoman villagers and Cherokee villagers, well, that investment was made, but unfortunately it hasn't paid off. Shame we never got to see Ottoman Minutemen being called as well. And I don't think we've seen iamturk even call his Indian Minutemen as well. So if you're not going to call the Indian Minutemen at any point in that previous fight, then you need to call them now to get some sort of use. Here comes another batch of Ottoman Gardner Hussars. So go for the Hussars instead of the Minutemen. Probably a good choice there. Royal Guards or Royal Veteran Hussars, quite strong units. But it's just Musketeer Longbow, and I've seen a lot of players just going pure Musketeer Longbow, similar to Yumi Ashi for Japan. It feels like it's a very strong combination. Very easy to micro as well. All your units are in one group. Musketeers protect the longbows, and they're just. And you can say that longbows protect the musketeers from skirmisher fire because they just kind of blend into one big mess. It's really hard to micro that. And iamturk is running. He's up on the mine in Hudson and north, but he's had to have a lot of walking time from his villagers. Severely down in military population, down in economic population as well. Mongo sends in yeomanry for his longbowmen. 26 range these units are, with an incredible line of sight. And is that a big raid? That is a big raid. Longbows is going to have free rain of fire on these villagers. They won't be stopping firing for a long time. They've got long range on this. Gurkha switch coming out from iamturk with the 8 Gurkha shipment, disciplining Gurkha and British East India Company, but already losing more villagers. Since last time we checked, another 6 villagers have gone down. These are the sepoys going down, so he's already lost that sepoy mass he had, and now it's basically just pure Gurkha. But here comes the stable. Have we seen that time that Mongo's going to go for the cavalry switch? Not just yet. Just popped a batch of 8 longbows, but you would think the hussars are soon on the way. But Mongo's a lot of coin. That is probably a bit too much. He's got that hunt and starts gathering more food. But I think Mongo's too far in the lead now, but that really makes the biggest of differences. Raiding foods to the north. If he must have come off to the, move to the west a little bit, get a massive raid and pick off those siege elephants, which are, bolstering that military unit population, but they're not actually really contributing to any fights here. They're not really useful units when there's no siege or buildings to take down. $1,000 coin coming in from mongo10 as well. There you go. There's the artillery foundry being thrown down. Looks like a batch of 5 falconets will be trained from Mongo. He has 17 vills on woods. Could go for log flume at this point. That would be very nice. That's minor. And there's the villager raid we're talking about. Veteran musketeers with the musketeer combat. 31 range damage. iamturk's villagers, they don't even have their Eastern medicine. They do have the British consulate now, so that's something going for iamturk, but not as strong as Eastern medicine. So losing more villagers there, and allowing Mongo to push through the centre, mainly Gurkhas, but here's that time for the Hussar switch, and soon to be Falconets if he's going to train it. Mongo's probably thinking, what do I do with these resources? Do I age? Do I train? Do I mass? Do I do this? Either one of those options would probably be absolutely fine. If anything, maybe aging might be the worst option here. But Falconets at this point is probably a strong idea. You've already burned through the Siege Elephant shipments, the Urumi shipments, the 2 Mahout shipments. 3 Mahouts are still available. Siege Elephants on low HP, but you do have veteran longbows with very long range, so these units are not too scary. And I think these longbows are going to get a nice cheeky raid up on these elephants and watch these elephants go down very quickly. One goes down, gets one firing off. I don't know why Mongo's kiting. Oh, he's just drag boxing. Hussar's seen all these Gurkhas thinking, oh, nice raid here. And talking about nice raids, oh, that's a big Hussar raid topside. And I think iamturk has been raided topside, army being pushed. I'm not really too sure how he can remass. And you know what, I'm expecting the resignation coming from Turk soon. But, Turk, 150 points down, doesn't phase iamturk. He's going to find a way to come back in, I'm sure. I'm sure. Here come the 5 falconets, and oh, we didn't get to see a volley. Wasn't an anticlimactic finish. You see 5 falconets lining up their shots onto their Indian victims, but iamturk resigns. Noble. Sparing Indian lives. What a lad. 2 all out of 4 games. we're going to go into the deciding game very shortly afterwards. Oh, it's 20-8. I'm getting quite hungry. So that was the villager spike from iamturk. However, I felt those villager techs came in super late. I would have really liked to see iamturk, if he was going to go greedy, get that Cherokee researched in a lot sooner. I suppose the Ottoman tech can only really come in once you send that 300 export shipments anyway. But Mongo's in the Third Age, Turk was in the Third Age, but quite a lot of those villagers went down shortly after to Mongo's early AoE3 push with the falconets, veteran musketeers, and musketeer combat. After losing that, after picking up the Agra fort, consulate, getting a good initial fight, but then losing lots of units to the Urumi, looked a bit shaky when he sent 8 villagers, but Mongo had enough eco to repel, remass, stabilize, and afterwards just had that eco lead, and it wasn't close at that point. You just see how the eco just tapers away for India due to less villagers being raided, losing. Mongo's just ever increasing, having full map control. The wood trickles not enough to keep up with the British eco here, but that military unit population. Early good fights there for Mongo. iamturk losing 2 Mahouts, his Gardner Hussars, which were then now AoE3. The 2 elephants to the musketeer mass before they could even get onto the falconets. Sent siege elephants as well, but the siege elephants lost most of the HP before eventually being used to pick up the falconets. Mongo, once he realised the falconets were gone, could have tried to squeeze as much value as possible, considering that he was watching his muskets die at the hands of the Urumi swordsman regiments. You can see how the Urumi come out, and then Mongo's units just fall away, and I saw a comment in the chat saying this is the only way for the British to lose in this situation. It happened, but it just seemed it wasn't enough. Mongo was able to retreat. Relatively equal military populations. Siege elephants probably overcompensating iamturk's 37 military population, and then just remass and conquer later on. GG's. GG's indeed. Right, Arkansas is out of the map pool now. Now it's iamturk's time to pick Cascade Range or Adirondacks. Adirondacks is going to be the final map, and it seems to be that the counter pick system in this tournament seems to be very strong. We went from 1-0 to 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, and I think Turk may be likely to go 3-2 here because he has the map pool. He's picked his own map. Mongo will pick the Civ. Now iamturk will be able to counter. iamturk has won with the Russians. He's won with the French. Mongo's won with the Brits. And he's won with Chinese. So that's the civs they've won with. So Mongo will have to change from his British pick and pick a different civ which isn't China. And Russia and France have been played from iamturk. He did play India just then, but did lose. He may want to... Yeah, so no British or no Chinese available for mongo10. So, Turk picked Adirondacks, Mongo picked France. Now, iamturk has countered with Japan. So, Japanese versus the French on Adirondacks. Let us go. mongo10 Saint Sec deck. Let's pick a deck for mongo10. Furrier, Northern Passages, maybe. Team Native Combat, second age. 5 and 6 veteran Classiers in the 4th age. 4 gold friends. We could be very mean if we picked players' decks. ESOC's next weekend tournament. Let the players choose the card you're going to send next by voting in the poll. Oh no, I've just probably given these guys a very bad idea for the next tournament, have I? But looks like Mongo has got his deck ready. iamturk is ready to go, so iamturk will be playing his premier civilization, should we say, for the final game. Good luck, have fun for both players. This is the deciding game. Adirondacks, let's do it.
Yes.
While we're here, I get to say before we start that the next confirmed series in the upper bracket of the ESOC Stay-at-Home Competition 2020 is between Mito and Give You Anxiety, a 15 GMT kickoff, early kickoff tomorrow. I will be driving home from work at that point, so I won't be casting it. So if there's any players or any spectators in the chat who is available, please make yourself known, because otherwise we'll have to cast that from Rex, and that's a matchup I'm sure you guys would love to see live, but may not be possible. Also, if anybody else wants to give a try at casting, if you've got the PCs which can stream, I guess comfortably either at 720 or 1080, clear voice, good game knowledge, slightly interesting personality, certainly need to hear from you. It's getting a bit quiet in our ranks of people who can cast at the moment, and it's quite a lot for me just to continuously do series in, series out, and especially what's going to happen when it's a 15 GMT kickoff tomorrow and I'm unavailable, and I think Jailed is definitely unavailable for that. So yeah, public shout out. Any of you guys fancy casting, get the best seats in the house, feel involved, make the crowds laugh, provide real insight and entertainment for everybody. It's a community project, so it's always nice to dip in and give a bit of my spare time for this. But it's a little bit too much for me continuously, and otherwise we might just miss big important games, and that big important game is tomorrow's match, 15 GMT. Mito taking on Give Anxiety round of 16. Just imagine if Give Anxiety wins that. Oh, that would be a meme. Right, this game, coin crate start. French versus Japan. The French civilization would be very happy to see that coin crate. They can go for the early market. Hunting dogs in already. iamturk's coin crate is just sitting at home, chilling, doing nothing. And you see iamturk hasn't gone for the consulate, Portuguese consulate. He's just going to go for 2 shrines. He's shined the first shrine up here. Hasn't chopped for a second shrine. Did pick up 2 food treasures. Hasn't got a wood treasure, and it's going to be a very quick age up. Throwing down that age up at 2 minutes 15 seconds. Will be advancing with the Shoga Shrine though, so skipping that kind of more economic playstyle, just going for that faster age up. 3 fishing boats as well, really nice. Mongo playing as the French, it'd be hard for him to raid these fishing boats. Let's have a quick look at iamturk's deck. I'm expecting a standard deck here. Does have 2 fumes to defend the water if he needs to defend it. They're likely to be sending, the 3 fishing boats once, maybe the fishing boats on the Portuguese consulate as well. So 6 fishing boats on the water, and it feels like Turk feels that 2 fumes are needed to defend those boats if Mongo decided to counter with dock playing caravels. 7 villagers in age 3, no crate shipment there, no refrigeration. Often see Turk and refrigeration, but 5 cards in age 4 does suggest that iamturk is looking to go to the 4th age. Whether he gets there is a different matter. Does have the upgrade cards in the 3rd age. What's he missing? He's just missing. He's just missing the crates and maybe refrigeration. He's got all the unit shipments and the unit upgrades for Japan, so that's very important. Quick look at Mongo's deck. Eco Theory Mix appearance here. Triple cav upgrade, so team hand cav attack, hand cav HP, so not Dragoon buffing, but Hussar and Cuirassier buffing. Cavalry combat, wilderness warfare, and team range infantry attack, so double upgrades for the skirmishers, so could get some really strong skirmisher. Cuirassier is very late on in the fortress stage, but the French may just want to go to the 4th age for the factories. We'll have to see at that point. I feel if the game goes late age 3 anyway, Japan just wins whether they went age 2 or age 3. Japan's just a very strong civ as the game goes on. And one of my favourite games I've casted recently, if I think I remember the matchup correctly, do get me wrong if I get the players wrong, but it may have been King of Osmane versus Optimus Prime in the final week or the playoffs of the EPL 2 on Fraser River. It felt that Optimus had that game all over King, but King was managing to just defend really well with the 3rd age French and then just eventually push out. And the Japan player nearly had twice the eco, but just couldn't get the right units out. And then just those French really upgraded strong cavalry units of the veteran Cuirassiers just overran Optimus. So if you haven't checked that game out or series, do check that series out. That's a great series. One of those series I thought the gameplay was great, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Back to the game, these CDBs, the boys, as it says, the boys. Crier des Bois. Steel traps coming in. Gangs are already researched, would come in first shipment. Double racks being thrown down. Are we going to see some sort of bow pike playstyle from Mongo? 2 crossbows are being trained. Barracks are quite close to home though, so lots of walking time for these archaic infantry units to get out across the map. iamturk, 600 wood, first card, 3 defensive barracks being thrown down straight away in the 2nd age, 5 Yumi out in the field already. Market's down, and the 2nd tier food upgrade is eventually coming in, and the Conquest Yamabushi already been trained from the Japanese consulate. No Portuguese consulate here, no Portuguese fishing fleet. Native scout gonna get picked off here. Yeah, quick snipe there for the Yumi archers. Easy peasy. Yumi archers very rarely miss. Did those Conquest Yamabushis siege anything? No, Mongo has not lost a single unit or a building at the moment, so those clubmen just been trained as just been there, been trained already, but not been required for fighting yet. And Yumi archers is just going to be massed versus this crossbow master of Mongo. It is important to note though, it is 2 barracks versus a single barracks worth of production. That may change as the game progresses, but I think Mongo, when he sees these Yumi archers, I think he's got to take this. He needs to try and push forward, because that is a decent number advantage over for Mongo. If he trades 1 crossbow for 1 Yumi archer every time, he'd be very happy with that. Clubman going in, but at the mercy of the crossbowmen here. They're in range. 1 club's going down, 2nd going down very, very quickly. And iamturk early clubman play hasn't really worked here. Mongo gets some good units, and I've seen this play before of French players going, double racks, sending wood crates, but not training any pikes, not sieging shrines, forget the shrines, just go for the crossbowmen, and just overwhelm what Japan can field. iamturk has gone for 4 Vilzo instead of a 5 Yumi Archer shipments or a Daimyo into Naginata production. Could go for the military rickshaw from the Japan consulate and then throw down the stable from that. So that could be nice to counter the crossbows from Mongo. But Mongo is he's just minding his own business, going pure crossbows at the moment. Stable now. Hussar switch has been pulled. You can see all his villagers are now off the woods onto the coin, and could be a batch of 5 Hussars. Sends 700 coin as your next shipment, and mass Hussars and maybe a couple muskets on top of that. Could even send the crossbow shipment, 8 crossbowmen, and then train a batch of 5 Hussars and push off of that big power spike as well. Either option I feel is actually quite fine. Those 8 crossbows may take a long time to cross the field, but he wants to get a big batch of those Hussars out to really put Japan under any pressure. And there's no wall in here from iamturk. iamturk sends in 600 coin. Stable wagon himself, or stable being built, or the stable wagon text completed. Yep, stable wagon. Military rickshaw. He wants to go for Naginatas. iamturk's thinking, hee, I'm going to get the cav switch on my opponent, but is he? Mongo will get the cav switch first onto iamturk, and a 3 Hussar shipment as well. I wasn't expecting that, but 8 Hussars charging into the fight very quickly. There's only 3 Konchang Ibushis. Will get focused down very quickly by the crossbows, or even just by brute force from the Hussars. Hussars snaring the Yumi archers, and even if Yumi Naginatas pop out at the moment, there we do see a couple of Naginatas, about 5 Naginatas out in the field. That's a big batch actually. Mongo needs to focus these Nagis as a priority, and might need to tuck in to the buildings just to try and block as many of these Naginatas as possible. There's 3 still standing. As soon as those Naginatas goes down, it will feel a little bit better. But nah, these units are so strong versus crossbows. Super strong attack and so tanky. 300 HP, 30 range resist. But here comes the French cavalry from the southern flank, catching Naginatas, saving the crossbow mass. Minutemen going down. Yumi archers exposed. They're running back to Japan, but Japan has the slight eco advantage. It's hard to say. You know, villagers gathering cherries, no imperial bureaucracy. Shoga shrine, but no heavenly kami or Portuguese consulate. Yeah, there's no heavenly kami, full stop, shall I say. Unfortunately now, this crossbow master's dwindled to the point that he can't really continue taking these fights. He's been investing so much into Hussar production, he's neglected to train any more crossbows. Going musketeers wouldn't make sense as well. I think Mongo's awkwardly stuck between making more cavalry and aging up. He's sent 8 crossbows as well. I think at this point, the 8 crossbows may not be the best idea. 700 coin and get that age up. I think going for more Colonial Hussars as well, not great. iamturk, he could send himself 20% Yumi Archer attack, really strong. He could send himself a Daimyo, buffing all the units he makes, Yumi Archers and the Naginatas. So good upgrades for iamturk in the second age, and there you go, Yumi Archer attack, 20%, 24 range attack from these Yumi Archers. These crossbowmen will melt, unfortunately, and actually so will the Hussars to this amount of Yumi Archers. And I think if Mongo realises, well, you can see the number of Yumi Archers, but if he realises the quality of these guys, Mongo needs a different game plan very quickly, else he's going to be out of this tournament very soon. It's unfortunate to see, but just look at the +8s flying everywhere. 24 ranged attack from the Yumi Archers with this 20% card. Very strong option here for iamturk. 5 Hussars and another batch of 4 Hussars coming. You know, 3 Naginatas are here to block, but that's what Nagis are here now. They're not here to do the damage versus the crossbows. They're here to block the Hussars, and they're doing that very well. Body blocking the Hussars, and Yumi Archers are focusing down these Hussars one by one, picking off the kills very quickly. 4 more reinforcing Nagis and Clubmen. iamturk saying SG already, paying homage to maybe the SKG without the K. I don't know. Maybe sad game. I don't know. Preemptive. Maybe Mongo's something I haven't seen it. But the Yumi Archers now on top of the villagers. Villagers do have the great coats. Needs to pull these villagers in really. Here comes a big batch of Hussars. Is this double stable production? I think it is double stable production. But the Resign's coming in even before the engagement takes down. But no fear. 1 Clubman, 4 Naginatas, reinforcements. Yeah, well played to Mongo. Close series that was. 12th seed getting taken down by seed number 5. No shame in that. 3-2 as well. Close series. And I think that's probably the most competitive series we've had so far in this tournament. So I'm sure you guys would appreciate that. Oh, wow, we have 200 viewers watching that final game. So glad you guys could sit back and enjoy that one. iamturk winning 3-2. We'll be advancing to the next round. Village account in favour of iamturk, but you've got to consider French CDBs are stronger. That doesn't tell you much. 3 fishing boats was card number 1 instead of Heavenly Kami. Went straight for the Japanese consonant instead of Portuguese, so didn't really invest too heavily in the shrines. At the end, the shrine count was 100. Japan nearly at its population limit, didn't invest too much into that. But that miniature unit population, Mongo, getting big batches of crossbowmen out on that 700 wood 4 CDB card order. Had the crossbow mass and picked off quite a lot of Turk's units. While Turk was far from home at this point, you question why Turk was pushing out so far when he's playing a civ like Japan. I think maybe Turk just wanted to check whether Mongo was massing in age 2 or aging to the 3rd age. But once he realised that answer, he backed off home. Mongo came knocking. Hussars got a good pickup actually on the Yumi archers. You can see the Yumi archers were falling away, but those Hussars, about 5 of them, that population significantly reducing as a result. The Naginata pop came. It's kind of hidden in this military population graph here, or might be at this point actually, the 5 Nagi pop. No, I think that was later on. Might have been. But the 5 Nagis really strong, getting onto the crossbows and picking up so many units. Yeah, the 5 Nagis were here. This was the 5 Nagi pop. And this was the early age 2 focusing down. And just the French crossbow mass falls apart. The Hussars go down. Big reinforcements of Hussars, but there's only 10 crossbowmen on the field. Sends 8 crossbowmen just to try and bolster his forces. But 18 crossbows versus, I don't know, 24, 20 Yumi archers with 24 range attack is just so strong. And yeah, it's just Japan outscaling French in the colonial age, in colonial fights. French really need to be in the 3rd age for the French to have a very strong shot in this matchup, unless they rush hard early in age 2. Well played for both players.